Hey guys, welcome back to Hornside Mountain Biking. My oh my, aren't these some strange times we're living in right now. The entire world has effectively been shut down because of an invisible organism with an impact that is devastating countless lives. We are all in a kind of a state of suspended animation right now. We're locked down, we're shut down, we're stopped, we're paused. And for some of us, we're working harder than ever. For those of you in law enforcement, healthcare, fast food workers, the people at Walmart, the people at the gas stations, the people who are literally risking their lives so that those who do have to be out in this still have some shred of normalcy in their lives. So for all of those guys and girls out there that are doing that, thank you. One of the things that I've been working on during this time off is a little woodworking project, which I'll probably unveil more to you guys later on as I get it finished. But I'm giving you guys kind of a sneak peek at what it is. I've built a pallet wall in my garage because I was tired of having all my tools laying in a milk crate and I can't find them. It's a pain in the ass to work on my bike. So I decided to get a contraption called a pallet buster. Hold on. Hey, for those of you who don't know what a pallet buster is, hold on. Where's this thing at? This is a pallet buster. It's a very simple, very effective, and very violent leverage tool used to, as you would guess it, bust up pallets. So I've busted up 55 pallets to get the wood to make a pallet wall, along with some other little decorative things that I'm doing in here that I'll show you guys later. The point of all this is that while I was building this pallet wall and starting to get some of it assembled, I started coming across some of the fan memorabilia that you guys have sent me, and I figured this would be a good time to share with you guys the very first thing, for lack of better words, that someone gave me as a result of me making these videos for you. I've held on to this for 3 years now. No, I wouldn't say 3 years. I'd say probably 2.5 years. And I thought I'd share that with you right now. And I have it hanging. Right here on my wall. Someone left this under my windshield wiper back in Kansas City, and now I live in Grand Junction, 1,000 miles away, and I've taken this with me. So I'll read it to you. I love your videos. Keep it up. Yes, I realize there's a flower on this paper. I was in a pinch. And there is too. Look, there's a little flower on a paper. I've held on to this for quite some time because it is a reminder of the gravity and the impact that a very small but very thoughtful and kind gesture can do. Now, unfortunately, this guy, I'm going to assume it's a guy, because at this point, my entire demographic on my YouTube analytics is 99.97% male. However many women are forced and subjected to having to watch my videos. I can only hope, all I can envision is that there's probably some girl on a couch at her boyfriend's apartment, and he's watching my videos, and she's just trying to show him that she's a good sport, and she's going to watch him. So for all probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 of the women who have watched my videos, thank you very much for watching them. And I'm sorry my stuff doesn't really relate to the opposite sex. So I'm going to assume that this was written by a guy. He didn't sign this note, but I've kept it with me all this time as a reminder that I was on to something. I am onto something. This was one of those things of like, you know, like when you're making these YouTube videos, you sit there and you edit the stuff, and then you work and you spend all this time on it, and then you put it out there to an invisible audience, never knowing if it's resonating with anyone or not. And when someone does something like this is proof to me that what I'm creating and what I'm sharing with you guys is resonating, and that means a lot to me. So for all of you guys out there, thank you. Thank you for watching, and especially to whoever this is, mystery mountain biker. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The video that you guys are about to see it's kind of a special video right now. This is the last video, the last riding video that I filmed with one of my buddies before this whole COVID thing happened. Now this video was filmed months ago, long before anyone was talking about isolation or anything like that. And then a few weeks after this video was made was when we started getting word that we should start radically changing our behavior and shutting down and staying inside and staying away from each other until this thing passes. So this video is kind of it's kind of important to me right now at this point in my life, because this was my last filmed video with my crew, with any of my buddies, and it was kind of a special day because it was. Now you guys have probably seen a couple videos already with my KONA Process 111. It's been a blast of a bike to ride. This video here is actually my very, very first ride on that bike. And what's even cooler about it is that my buddy Brock, who went on this ride with me, this was also his first ride on his new bike. He got a zeroed, I don't even remember the name of it, Catapo? I don't know. They're from New Zealand, man. They name their bikes really weird things. But anyways, they got gearboxes and they're pretty cool. So he had his first ride on a bike. I was having my first ride on my KONA. I was super stoked to be able to ride this bike, even though you'll see in the video that I rode. I rode very cautiously. I had never actually been on a 29er before. I've thrown a leg over a couple of them in a parking lot, years ago. But I'd never ridden a 29er. This was literally the first time that I'd ever decided to take a 29er onto a trail and try to do some serious work with it. So I chose to ride with someone who had 180 millimeters of travel and rides like an absolute lunatic. So hey, what better way to break in a bike, right? So anyway, I'm sorry for the long intro, guys. But I wanted to share a few things with you, and thank you guys. Thanks for watching.
Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer who lost a horse, ran away. And all the neighbors came around that evening and said, "That's too bad." And he said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back and brought 7 wild horses with it. And all the neighbors came around and said, "Why, that's great, isn't it?" And he said, "Maybe." The next day, his son was attempting to tame one of these horses and was riding it and was thrown and broke his leg. And all the neighbors came round in the evening and said, "Well, that's too bad, isn't it?" And the farmer said, "Maybe." And the next day, the conscription officers came around looking for people for the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. And all the neighbors came round that evening and said, "Isn't that wonderful?" And he said, "Maybe." This, in a way, in a certain sense, reflects a fundamentally Taoistic attitude, which is that the whole process of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity, and it is really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequences of a misfortune, or you never know what will be the consequences of good fortune.
That is
the trail.
They like him steep in Utah. Oh, I can't believe I missed that rock. Do it. Oh. Oh man, are you serious? I got another idea. Nice, man, nice. That's some torquey stuff there, dude.
I'd like to thank God, my producer. He's a Swizzler who wrote all my beats. I couldn't have done it without my fans. Thanks for that, Zoom.
Pop it, yeah, hit it.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, yeah, dude, let's fucking pin it. And then there's a lot more rocks than I thought. And I was like, hey, I'm kind of done pinning it for a while. Where we at? Had to be a sharp left. We can't go right, and we went straight, yeah. Hard left.
And I don't know much, but I can feel it every time that we touch. It's what you do to me. It's the fire in your eyes. It's the way you're built outside. It's the way you make me try. Oh, and when you tell me lies, let me inside, let me inside. Let me inside, let me inside, let me inside.
Dude, it's amazing. I love the desert in the wintertime.
Hey, shit, dude. I think I hear helicopters. Hell yeah, bud. Oh, that was good. I was gonna say, if that's not a broth line, I don't know what is, man. Just fucking, it's all of a sudden props in the air. Gear switch. It's a big deal here. Well, that was deep. What's going on here? This looks terrifying. dear Lord. This is... Hold up, dude. Hold up, dude.
Holy shit.
I'm having like an overbrop. An overdose, dude.
That's some brat
This
talk.
is...
If you don't know what's coming, I'm sure if you ride this trail 3 or 4 times
Jesus,
in a
man.
year, it'd be a lot easier, but like, dude, you don't know what's coming.
No.
Ever. No clue.
No.
It's all made out of rock. I don't know about that. I don't know what's over here.
Oh, I see something to the left there. This section here, this demands some attention. Whoa, dude. Oh my gosh. Find the right gear. Oh, dude, that was sweet, man. That was sweet.
Foreign skies, come and find me where the daylight
Oh my goodness, keep telling I can't make it in this day.
stolen time, enough to waste on feeling young again. Destination, be my detour for a while. Heading nowhere, headed nowhere. We can watch the world burn.
Sorry, I just didn't want to. I kept bobbling.
No, we just rode down the side of that cliff.
Yeah, right.
That's what just happened. Sorry there.
Take one last look at what we left behind. We can drive forever till the blood moon dies. Too late to start again, so let's live to see the end. And leave our shadows when we're gone.
Hopefully you know the password, otherwise I have to slam it.
Oh my goodness. Look at this white glove service. Dang. Oh, you won big time.
Okay, right, boys.
Yeah.
All right, so we go down the valley now. No e-bike, no pedal assist, no pussies.
Silhouettes against the darkness hanging over us. Don't forget all those places that we used to love.
Why do we even do this sport, dude? It's so ugly.
My body hurts.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm gonna try.
Let's get some pictures of that thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's out in the wild, man.